Jump.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to We the United. This is episode 5, and we'll be talking about the real fight. And this is something that, we're going to do a little different because we didn't have a lot of people from the different communities to speak upon their community. So we're going to try to shed light on some stuff that we do know. I have somebody with me who is going to be co-hosting this episode. Y'all give it up for Faye Wagwan.
I'm sorry, that's the clap. Nothing much. Just good, like chilling,
Yes, I thank you. I thank you for doing this with me. I want to do something different since I've been having issues getting people to, stay with their times that they done been sliding up. So I thank you for taking this time out to do this.
Yes, it's always a pleasure. I try to get in where I can fit in.
Yeah. This episode is about the things we fight for. And a lot of people have like a lot of different things that they fight for. Honestly, we're going to be talking about the bisexual community. We're going to be talking about a little bit about the straight community. We're going to talk a little bit about the lesbian community, the queer community, and we're going to have 2 guests who shed light on the trans community, and we're going to have somebody who shed light on the plus size community. So they're going to have them actually speaking, but me and Faye will try our best to try to make it not so long, but we're going to try to get this thing right for y'all. All right, so let's just go right into it. Let's talk about these lesbians. You know any lesbians that's like fighting for? I know they try to fight for like their womanhood a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because these men nowadays is definitely try to make them feel like they just ain't tried the right dick and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right? I mean, the only thing that I know that the lesbians that I do know of that they try to fight for is like a genuine. I know a lot of studs, and so they are constantly always looking for a genuine relationship in their partner rather than being used a lot for their time, their money, um, and their mouthpieces. Um, I feel like that's the biggest thing um, for them that I've noticed personally. Like we haven't really had any real serious intellectual conversations because my lesbian friends and I we don't speak much, but when I see them, they know what's that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, same thing with me. I mean, I have a lesbian best friend. She was going to do this podcast, but of course, she had something come up, and I thank her anyway for even suggesting to do it. But yeah. I mean, I know with her, it's been a big thing with the studs that she talked to because she's an attractive woman and stuff like that. So men still are going to holler at her stuff like that. And I know a lot of studs face that reality that they're not always going to be manly. You know what I'm saying? They're always not going to be as manly as a man. You know what I'm saying? I think that's really a fight that they deal with personally that they really don't want to talk about. A lot. So I feel like, and then for the women, I know a lot of women. Hinting what I always say, hiding from the bisexual community because a lot of them don't want to discourage these women who have that fight that they're fighting to be, with a woman and the woman being solid to her, you know what I'm saying? And not wanting to seek a man. So they lie and say they don't have sex with men or they don't want to mess with men, but they really do still like men and stuff like that instead of just being bisexual and being who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we got a little bit in there with the lesbians, and we don't really know because we're not lesbians. You know what I'm saying? So we can't really say, and I don't want anybody to get offended by what we're saying. If you do have something that you want to say, please hit me up. Let me know, so we can definitely have you on here. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's go to something a little more, something we do know a little bit more about, which is the gay community. The things that they're fighting. I think they're fighting with each other of acceptance.
Yeah, there's so many air fights in the gay community. Whether it's the tops versus bottoms, the mask tops against the soft tops, or the mask bottoms against the OG bottoms, as I like to call it, because that's prior to my transition. That's what I claimed. Um, I mean, I'm still an OG bottom. It's just different
Not an
spectrums.
OG bottom.
Oh,
What the hell is
I
OG
think
bottom? I
I
mean,
know.
you busting it down. You know how to bust it down and take it good.
I mean, OG bottoms. I just feel like we're the original bottoms. Like we're the bottoms that we wanted to keep a home. We wanted to play housewife. Originally, the feminine bottoms, as I like to call it. Those are the OG bottoms to me. I mean, I'm sure there were mask bottoms back in the day, but I just know that they weren't coming out of the closet because they were masculine bottoms, and they had that cover to where they could play,
Hmm.
on top of the field.
Yeah, that's another fight too with the masculine and the feminine traits of being gay. You know what I'm saying? What is that? And I know TV a lot pushes that every gay person is like a feminine person, but I know before I realized I was bisexual, I was gay. I was still the same person. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was still a regular dude. You would never know unless
Mm-hmm.
you got to know me, and I would never hide who I was to anybody.
Right.
But
You
most
know
people are
that.
like, damn, I didn't even know you were gay. You know what I'm saying? So.
Mm-hmm. I can't stand y'all. I can't. Me and my best friend actually debate about that often because, like, I low key think my best friend is still slightly closeted because, like, he. I can't say this on here because he'll. People who know me will recognize my voice and know who I'm talking about. But there are certain things that he will do in front of me, because I'm trusted, and he knows I'm not going to judge him too harshly about it. That he would never be caught dead doing in public. Like, if he were to have a man, they'd never know this huge secret about the talent that he has in this specific area, of gay culture. Um,
I think I'm getting a hint, but I ain't gonna say it either. I'm gonna respect your friend. We respect your friend.
I mean, talent, talent.
But I know that is a thing. What a lot of people are trying to fight that masculinity in those. But
Mm-hmm.
due to the fact that we have actual speakers on here, we're going to give this a pause, and I'm gonna let everybody listen to our trans community speaker, even though Faye is my co-host. You know what I'm saying? So she's gonna be able to shed light in 1 minute once we get back. But I'm gonna let y'all listen to this. After y'all listen to this, give it a second and we'll be right back with y'all. Hello everybody. Welcome back to We Are the United. I keep on saying, hold on, let me say this. I keep saying we are the United, and it's not we are the United. It's we the United, like we the people. We the United. And this is episode 5, and this is the real fight. So I'm gonna have a person with me who's going to be representing the trans community, and you can introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kendall Miller, formerly known as K Now.
Yeah, so this is my homegirl right here, y'all. She's definitely been killing these episodes and giving her light, shedding her light, and doing her thing. We can just jump right into it. The first
Ooh.
question is what rights we fight for, and what does it mean to you?
I mean, as a Black African American trans woman within this world in the United States, I honestly see diversity on every level of trying to be successful, of trying to be an individual with a, you know, identity, of course, and just someone who is trying to make a better for themselves. I do see the difference within, our community, of course, our culture
Mm-hmm.
is a long way to go, and we've come from a long way, but even longer to go. 2023, I just heard, I work in the healthcare field, but I also work in the hospitality as well too. And I just heard a young man, older young man, call someone a colored boy.
Mm.
And I was like, wait, what day and time are we in? So we're like fighting for, you know, we fought so long for our rights to even have rights. And nowadays, it's like it matters just like a joke to them. So
Yeah.
they really don't see this. They still don't see it. Like color is gonna always exist within their eyes. That they're that they're better than us, that they're stronger than us. That we still have to fight for everything that we have and that we want so much harder than what the others have to. So
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Especially when it comes to the race part, because if people they say, "Oh, well, that's been a long time ago," but if you think about it, it's not been really that long. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't even been a
it
century
hasn't been
yet.
that long, and it doesn't make sense for them to say that long ago, but it still exists to this day.
Yes, and it's very strong.
Especially to the naked eye, it's very much so like it's tasteful
Yeah,
and it's just like unbelievable. It really is.
yeah. I definitely feel like it's been diluted, but yes, it's still there. Definitely, it's definitely still there. I mean, when people are raised with hatred of the race, number one, you know what I'm saying. Better yet, also the hatred of them against the communities, the different communities,
Yes,
of not being straight. You know what I'm saying. These people are raised with this type of hate, and when you're raised with this type of hate, it doesn't
it's
just go away out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying. One thing can
because
make
it
you
serves
mad.
it's an agenda to be served, and their agenda won't stop until they see the ending of us, and more so we here to stay. So I don't know where they think this where's gonna go. So I'm just hoping and praying that we can just change, honestly, overnight. Even though I know it's incapable of doing, but I'm just praying and hoping that for better days. If I'm
Right.
honestly.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so question number two. What is the six biggest issues we face that could transpire in a fight for who we are?
Wait, say it one more time. I can barely hear you.
I'm sorry. Okay, so what is the six biggest issues we face that could transpire in a fight for who we are?
Our race, I want to say our gender, identifying with who we are as trans. Um, Within our own community, we fight. It's a fight, and it shouldn't have to be, but it still is. Within our families, it's a bigger fight. I honestly want to say within our belief systems is such as you being who you are and not knowing that you are not accepted within your same belief. So that's a big fight, honestly. In the workplace of being able to have the right to be who you are, to be able to have the capability and the more credentials behind you, but because of who you are, you have to fight harder. And
Right.
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I say equal opportunity. It should stand for everyone that has an able body, despite their color, their creed, their race, their gender, or whatever things they just may try to go by from a different walk of life. It shouldn't matter as long as you're capable of getting the job done. Period.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I definitely agree. Okay, I love that answer. Question three. Now this is more of a your perspective. So it's you versus the government. Shed your light on your perspective.
Oh, the government, you know what? They have their ups and downs. Honestly, they do. And I just want to say a lot of government workers take it to heart and they take their jobs very serious, which you should do. But they have to understand that this don't belong directly to you. You're not giving anything out of your pocket to individuals. So at the end of the day, they make it so much harder. They can make it so much harder for individuals that really do need the assistance. And it's just like because they feel if they're in a better position, they can look down. Which they can't, because I like to take my look out on my own one
Okay.
order according to what's belongs to me. But what God has for me is gonna be for me, despite how you feel, what you say, whatever it is. Because once I get approved, it's approved, and that's all I'm looking for. So, and I'm looking for some more approvals for it to be within our own homes here,
Hmm.
within the land of America. We need to be able to help one another here before we go across seas and do for over there. It's good to help out other places, but at home needs to help first. Period.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Okay. And
And
question.
I need them to up my food stamps too.
Oh. Okay. Well, I never got food stamps. These motherfuckers won't give me food stamps. I don't give a fuck if I had a job
Well,
or
I
not.
need some more. I need some more. So this is your bite.
Okay. Okay, okay. Episode. Question 4. The ones we lost to the fight.
It's tragic. I know a young man that was incarcerated. And he had stage 4 colon cancer, and was asking his final wish was to actually spend his final days with his baby. Yes, he did a horrific, a terrifying, horrific crime. But when you see the justice system and the government actually being so low to where they won't allow a child to actually be in the presence of their father within their last days, it's something out of hand.
Yeah, yeah,
So this young man had to go on to glory to actually not see his loved ones, his babies.
yeah,
And the babies are only gonna, of course, I do cherish, every great memories that they had with their father, but not even get a chance to even say goodbye.
yeah. Definitely. And I mean, I
So
definitely
we gotta do.
understand that. I
Go
definitely
ahead.
understand that. I definitely understand that. I mean, yeah, the fight for our rights and the fight for
Yeah, and it's
our
like once you're taken
freedom.
away from society, yeah, it's like
Yeah,
you're doomed. And
yeah,
I hate that for them. It's like, yeah, people don't get it. Yeah, you do the crime, you do the time, but still have a fucking heart
yeah,
for real.
yeah. And people don't realize though. A lot of people don't realize that you lose people when you're fighting because I mean that's just what it happens. You know what I'm saying? People die from this situation because I mean that's what also is part of a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like a war between whatever you're going through is going to be some tragedies inside of it. You know what I'm saying? But those tragedies, we
Yeah,
just basically we honor them and we help that make us stronger to keep pushing on with that fight. You know what I'm saying? And don't
yeah,
discourage you.
exactly.
Yeah, so
Yes,
I definitely will hold my condolences to anybody who lost anybody through any type of fight that they're going through, any type of
yes.
struggles and tragedies. Definitely. We're gonna do a 10-second silence for them. All right, so
Thank you for that. That was so sweet of you. Thank you so
you you you
honestly.
you definitely welcome. You definitely welcome. Because I mean I understand and whew, okay, I almost cried a little bit, y'all. Our truth on if we will see victory in our steps towards it.
Because we're living in the perfect world, my perspective is that nothing will never be right enough for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. And I just want us to be able to try to make the world a better place just by, like Michael Jackson said, we are the world, we are the children, we are the ones to make a better day so let's start living. And it's about treating each other better.
Yes.
Honestly, we got to be able to do better within ourselves in order to actually really want to be able to treat other people better, to see a better in this world, in this place that we, exist in. And it's not going to cost us, honestly, a lot much more than what we're doing just to be better to people than we are doing today.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
And that goes abroad within the government, within everybody. Like these are jobs, and once you do leave this earth, you better believe it's listed in their newspaper right after you're pronounced deceased for someone else to fill that position. So don't take it to heart. It's not all about you, and at the end of the day, being able to look down on other people and to belittle other people because you could be in that same very next place before you hit that box. Let's be real, for real.
Yes. Definitely. Definitely. And I mean honestly, I hope that they are there is going to be a victory for a lot of the stuff that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Me being bisexual, a lot of people really don't realize that we are the only ones who have not fought yet. People don't realize that. Like we are the ones who have not fought yet. So definitely, my conversation with the bisexual person is really going to be depth on this one because that's the reason why I really made this comment because I need them to realize, I need my people to realize that we have not fought for any type of rights for our own personal self. You know what I'm saying? We fought for the rights for everybody else, but we have not actually had any
Mm-hmm.
solid fights for us. And are we going to see victory? I feel like the steps towards our victory is to accept that it could not be, you know what I'm saying, victory in the time frame that we want it to be, but also still implement things that will do something for the future, that will change in the future
Yes,
game.
most definitely.
Yeah, because I mean, just because we're fighting doesn't mean that we might see it. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, all the people who fought for us to have our freedom and stuff like that, a lot of them died before they even got the chance to see a black president. You know what I'm saying?
There you
But it
go. There
still
you
happened.
go.
It still happened,
It
and
still happened, yeah.
I was
So there's still
so
hope. I
happy.
thank you for saying that.
Yeah, definitely. And my grandfather, I just remember him all crying. He was like, he thought that he would be dead before he saw that, and it just made me cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it started snowing, which made it even worse for the sap people out there. You know what I'm saying?
What?
It's snowing,
Wait a
and we
minute.
got a president, and oh my god! Like,
Wait, what?
yes, it definitely was. It was. I mean, so definitely, I definitely commend everybody for even being able to even see something like that. Like, I mean, that definitely should have boosted people to realize that the fight is always gonna go, and there's never really something not to fight about. You know what I'm saying? Whew.
Hmm.
Ooh, this is a good one right here, boy. I didn't even know I was about to start shedding tears and stuff. Like I wasn't even trying to even get in my feelings, but I have to do all these interviews and stuff, and I definitely don't want to be sitting here crying on the whole episode, y'all. So, y'all,
But it's just wrong.
yeah, yeah.
Wait, this was like
This is this was definitely wonderful. It definitely was. It shed light on a lot of situations, and I appreciate you coming out once again. You always come and show the fuck out, so I appreciate it. All right. How was that? I hope y'all enjoyed that. It was wonderful. I appreciate, everybody for tuning into that. So, with the trans community, like what are things that you feel like y'all fight and what are things that you fight personally with yourself?
Okay, with things that we do fight, it's acceptance. Acceptance is a really big thing. Currently, there are lots of things being said about trans people that just aren't so. Um, a couple key figures in the trans community are actually fighting for a couple things separately. Like T.S. Madison just got into it with Jess Hilarious. I can't remember the girl or the woman or lady from Pose. I think her name is Angela, something like that. But she just got into it with the white girl from American Horror Story because she made a derogatory comment because it's just easy to poke fun at the trans woman. I just watched a video of a trans woman getting jumped by like maybe 6, 7, 8 different dudes, all because they were walking totally different directions down the street, downtown, and wherever they were. I think they said Baltimore or something like that. And as a trans woman was walking past them, they wouldn't move. And so she was just like, move your cute ass out the way. She was being nice about it because she didn't have to call you cute. But they took offense that their masculinity was threatened as soon as like they were complimented and asked to move out of the way. So they threw a trash can on her, like then assaulted her multiple times, like and kicked her and things like that. Like on the like, as she's continuing to walk, like she didn't retaliate at all. So like acceptance is like a really big thing. Like it's also another thing that when we go back to go defend ourselves, it's always uh, like taken as we can't take the heat or we should just sit down and be quiet. Um, it's a really frustrating thing. Something that I personally deal with being on hormones are my emotions and like I have insecurities because I am a new trans baby. It's only been like 6 months, so like I've had to set things up with my therapist to get um my mind in order because I still deal with dysphoria to a degree, which basically means that there are certain parts of me that don't match up to the ideal that I have what I'm supposed to look like. And I have to settle with that. Like it's just a brand new kind of puberty. Like I don't know if anybody remembers their puberty. Like it was an ugly stage for most of us already, and so now I'm going through a second puberty, which isn't it doesn't get easier just because I've done it once before. Like it's a mental battle that I deal with all the time. And I also live with someone else who doesn't completely understand the choices that I've made. And so that's another battle that I have to fight to make sure that I don't offend them with them not trying to offend me. Like I have to always overcompensate or overthink or over whatever to make sure that I know that whatever they're saying is coming out of a place of love and they're not intending on hurting my feelings. And I actually have to deal with that with a lot of my friends now because I'm so emotional. Like I'm so sensitive about quite a few things. Like you could tell me you disagree with me about me and my best friend or my other best friend got into an argument about cats and whether or not they enjoy sex. And it got to a point where I had to get off the phone because I felt myself getting upset unnecessarily. And all I asked, my best friend was to respect my peace. And I don't have the capacity to have this conversation right now. Like I'm not right now in a place to receive what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Can we revisit this?
Right.
And they kept trying to push for it, and so my emotions were getting worse and worse as they kept trying to push. And we were just talking about cats.
Right. Yeah. I get that. Because I mean, sometimes emotions come from different spots, especially when you're fighting for stuff and it should mean something to you. You don't know. It could be one word that somebody says that just hits you and just makes you go into a whole different mindset and stuff like that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the queer community because I know we're both really not as familiar with that, but I know a big thing that they're fighting for is their pronouns, and that's a big thing, like to be realized for what that is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And their fight for queer, what a lot of people don't know is back in the days, queer was used as a bad word to the gay community.
Mm-hmm.
And they fought for that name to be changed just as much as the black community has fought for the N-word to be kind of related to something more friendly instead of something that sheds light on something so evil back in that time frame. Because people were also getting killed and stuff like that and getting called queer.
The B word. Can we cuss on here?
Yeah, we can cuss on here. We can cuss on here. It's adult friendly.
That's right. It's like the word "bitch" with women being reclaimed by women. We all have our words.
Yeah, and the fight for words is something that everybody can relate to. So I mean, when it comes, the reason why I even stated that because I'm not trying to like pick fun of it is because it's something that everybody can relate to. Like you said, with women and with black people. You know what I'm saying? With really a lot of words like bad is even really been reclaimed to be something completely different than what it is.
Good. You call me bad all day, honey, because I'm one of them baddies.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, and with them, that's really the only thing I can really say because I don't really know too much about that one. So we're gonna move on to something I do know a lot about because I have a lot of people in this community, and these are mainly my friends, the straight community. And what I've learned from them is that they're fighting to still be seen. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really a big fight for them. I mean, of course, they already have to deal with the racism and the prejudice stuff that before we came out and shined our rainbow on the world. You know what I'm saying? They still have to deal with those things as well, which people really don't realize as well as we do. You know what I'm saying? Let me say that also. Because it's not like we don't deal with that as well, inside the communities and outside of communities. Because the fight for getting equal and not being racially profiled is definitely a big fight amongst everybody still.
Definitely.
And
men, women, black, white, yeah.
Yeah. So
socialism is a thing.
Yeah, it definitely is. And with the straight community, I feel like a lot of them have been trying to like shy away from doing this podcast because they feel like they're not going to be included, or somebody's going to mistreat them because a lot of people feel like most straight people hate them. And that's the thing that they're fighting as well, is the fact that everybody don't hate everybody. You know what I'm saying? And we all ain't haters. You know what I'm saying? We all ain't mad at y'all. We all don't have this form, but it's hard for them to get on this platform and say how they feel without somebody trying to be quick to say, "Oh, you hate us," or "You feel this type of way," because they just don't like something that you're saying. So I kind of get that.
Just because I agree with what you're saying does not mean that I hate you. And I have full capability to agree to disagree. On one of the podcasts that I was in, I think it was the first one that we ended up doing when we got to um, the sip and talk, the bisexual woman that you had on there, whose name I can't remember right
Mm-hmm.
now, she had said something about her views on children and uh, gender identity.
Mm-hmm.
That totally, it was not totally the opposite of what I was saying, but from listening to her point of view with her having children, like I wasn't like completely changing my mindset, but it did add something to what I didn't know.
Right.
Like, so I would like to say out loud, like, the people on this podcast are able to, hear what you have, the information that you have to give, or your opinion that you have to give, and totally not like, it won't be an argument. I mean, your opinion is your opinion, just like my opinion is my opinion. And you can add something, and you can also take away things at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. And straight people, I'm need for y'all to get y'all kahunas together and y'all coochies tighter or something. Cause I don't know what to say. Cause I'm need for y'all to get it together and come represent yourselves. Because at the end of the day, y'all have really the biggest story now. Because the fact that I feel like y'all are fighting to be seen. Y'all like nobody's trying to push y'all away, but y'all definitely can't go into hiding either. And
I did not think about that until you said that. In a way, the alphabet community does kind of push them into a corner nowadays
yeah.
because we're everywhere and we want our rights for everything. And it's, in a way, taking away some of the sanctity of the straight things that, or the hetero things. Like, not in a way like we're taking those things. It just, for them, it feels like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, they're part of the fucking rainbow. I give them red because it's the first color. So, you know what I'm saying? They're technically the first, if you would think about if you put it in like a scale of, okay, that's the
Mm-hmm.
basic, then it's what's the
The
name?
spectrum.
Yeah, that's the basic, and then it
Yeah.
starts blending, and then it goes to this, and then it goes to that. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they're definitely here. You know what I'm saying? And we just want y'all to know that. Okay. So just to do a brief one, I also have somebody who spoke, and they are from the straight community, but they spoke on the plus size. So we're going to take a time out and listen to that, and we will be back with you guys. Hello, world. How you doing? This is We the United, and this is episode 5, The Real Fight. And I have with me once again Priscilla for to talk about the plus size community. And how you doing, girl?
Oh, I'm doing okay.
Okay, that's good. That is good. I'm just gonna jump right into it because you know me, I just get straight to the getting rid right.
Yep.
So the first question is, what rights do you face? I mean, do you fight for, and what does it mean to you?
Right. Let me see. Uh, well, first of all, just to be my size, the right to be my size is okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like that's I think I'm fighting for it. Like every time I go out in public,
Mm-hmm.
um, uh, even though I am myself, they don't know who I am. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely protecting like me,
Mm-hmm.
my my chunkiness.
Yeah, definitely. What about your what's it? I know you're Asian, correct? I don't want to say it wrong.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. What about those? Is there any issues with with the rights fight about that, or like the foreign rights or anything like that? Have you ever faced anything like that?
Yeah, you're my size. You're eating way too much. They'll constantly tell you, they'll put their hand on your head, rubbing your head, telling you, oh, they love you, but you need to slow down on your eating, or since you're already chunky enough, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. After everybody eats, then you can eat. Um,
I've faced that before. Um, that's just with going to other families' homes. I mean, but my family in general, though, my immediate family,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't do that to me. But other family members that would join us, they were doing that to me because their girls, were much smaller than me, and I was
Mm-hmm.
always on the heavy side. So I definitely felt like, okay, now I have to starve myself so I can look like them. So yeah, I definitely went through that trauma.
Okay. All right. So okay. So the second question is, what is the six biggest issues that you face that can transpire into a fight for who you are?
Um, Sorry, can you say that question again? My
Okay,
brain is not
okay,
working.
it's fine. Everybody asks me to repeat it. What is the six biggest issues we face that could transpire in a fight for who we are?
Mm, okay. You said six or six.
Six of them. Yeah,
Oh, six. There's six of them?
yeah.
Oh, let me see. Wow. I can't even think of one. Okay. Yeah, I mean, oh God. Maybe it's me. Am I slow? Or I do not understand the question.
No, I mean at the day, it's. I mean, it's just what issues. What like if it's not six, then it's just not six. But I mean, what are the biggest issues? That would transpire until you have to stand up for who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like
Um,
I know a lot of people make like Asian comments. I know,
oh,
you know what I'm
okay.
saying? Yeah, I'd probably be one too, because I know a lot of people do that, and that's definitely offensive. A lot of people mock Asians and like act like they're saying what they're saying, but they're not saying anything. I know I've seen that a lot, and people have got upset with that. Um, would you been short? Probably. I know you probably dealt with something like that. You know, the height issues. You
Yeah,
never.
that's helpful. Actually, there's one that I thought of. A lot of people using the word, using fupa around as a, it's a normal thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like to make fun of.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that's something. I don't think that's something to play with. I mean, like when you're with your friends, yeah, it's okay to joke around with,
Right.
but going around and just, talking about that. Yeah, definitely. Uh, when you go places, um, and you start eating,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then you just get all the stares. Definitely that too.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So the next question is you versus government. Shed light on your perspective.
In the U.S. government,
You know, like you versus the government. Yeah. Like
oh man. First of all, they don't want to see no naked, chunky person going down the street. The first thing they're gonna do, they're gonna have some cops come up, take a shield, and block my ass. I'll never make it up there. And my message that me saying that, meaning they're not gonna want to listen regardless.
yeah.
Like they're not. They don't have time.
Have you had any bad experiences with the government?
Um, Not personally per se, but then with the community, like I've joined, some I'm gonna call it marches. I've
Yeah.
joined marches and stuff like that, and to where they were throwing like the little gas stuff, and they had the gas mask and the shields and the little sticks and stuff. I've never gotten beaten up, but that I've been in one of those, and it was so scary. Uh, but other than that, that's it.
Okay. Okay. All right. So next question. The ones you've lost to the fight.
The ones I've lost to a fight. Um, I want to say, I think, honestly, not I think, the ones that I lost to a fight, I want to say this is personal. This, for me, though, it's myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because, you know, how I was telling you, the last episode, that when I did lose weight, I started seeing myself in a different view, you
Yeah.
know? And then I started hitting on the plus side and I forgot who I was. So
Yeah.
I felt that was a one on one, seeing both sides. I had lost myself into that fight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, and having to accept myself back again, it
Mm-hmm.
was it was kind of confusing at first, but I was just like, why did I like? Had I not get into that situation, I would have never known
Right.
and how bad I felt. So I feel like I lost a piece of myself that day. But that's when I did gain more knowledge.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Which is good for the soul. Is to gain more knowledge. I mean, I know this is a big subject right here, and the reason why I put this in here is because when people realize when we're fighting and we're going through stuff and we're marching and we're doing all stuff like that, sometimes people die doing this stuff, and at the day, sometimes people don't get to see the results of what all of this comes out of being. And for that, I do want to do a 10-second moment of silence for those people. All right. So now the last question that I have is your truth on if you will see victory and steps towards it.
Um, honestly, nowadays I'm seeing more people embracing big as beautiful than
Yeah.
ever. So there is a victory.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm already seeing it. I'm already feeling it. More confident than ever. So yeah, we're getting there. I mean, it may be a slow race,
Mhm.
but we'll always get to the finish line. I mean, it may take, I don't know, 5, 10, 20 years, but eventually we'll have a victory. I mean, it doesn't matter. It could be a small victory and it'll still feel amazing.
Yeah. Because I mean, and a victory is a victory, regardless of how
Yeah,
big or small it is. It's still a win. Okay.
right. A win is a win.
Okay. So shit, get collecting. You got to collect more W's, and this time just keep collecting.
Right.
Yes, well, I definitely thank you for this. You know what I'm saying? This is really a touchy one for me personally because I know I've seen a lot of people in all the different communities. And like I said, I lost a friend to not being overweight, but I lost a friend, you know what I'm saying? And he was very dear to me, you know what I'm saying? And I really cared a lot about him. And I thought that that would have been what took him out this world, but it was another situation, you know what I'm saying, which they didn't find the evidence enough to accuse anybody. So I still don't know exactly what happened, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? This is really all every time I think about this, I almost want to cry a little bit, but I push through it because that's what you do when you're fighting, and then this is the real fight. The real fight really is the fact that we have more things going on in this world that we have to face besides hating each other, and that's really what the real fight is. You know what I'm saying? So I thank you once again for coming out and doing this again. Like this is so wonderful to keep having you.
Thank you for having me. I do appreciate it. And I'm so sorry about your friend. Now they're in a better place. They don't have to feel pain anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I can say though, he definitely embraced his big, okay, and he loved it all.
Okay.
And he used to come in
Okay.
stunning, shaking, soft shan, everything. Okay.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, he was a ball of joy.
That's amazing.
Well, you definitely have a wonderful time with your life, and I'm pretty sure you're on the next episode too, so you're definitely going to be hearing her again. Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. You have a great one too.
All right, you too.
Okay.
And that was so wonderful. You know, I love her every time she gets on here. She shows out. Like, she always does her thing. Like, I swear. Like, I just don't even, y'all don't even know how much I love her. And the last time we were on my late night talk show, which y'all definitely have to go check out, somebody got on there and they did some things that were kind of disturbing, and nobody knew what they were talking about. And I feel like she felt like they were geared to her because they were calling fat words and stuff like that. And you know, people don't realize that people still fight for shit like that, like fighting to not be disrespected because of my weight or the way my body looks. Don't disrespect me because of some shit like that. Respect me a little bit more because of the fact that I'm able to embrace myself instead of trying to disrespect me and trying to make me not like my own self.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of pissed me off when they did that. I banned them. And if you want to think you're going to come on my show doing some ignorant ass shit, now I granted, you can dislike something, but don't disrespect anybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's just
Right.
my whole thing. And I just can't do it. I can't do the disrespect at all.
I'm glad I missed it. I've never been so glad to miss something because I would have been pissed.
Yeah, and a lot of people were. A lot of people were. Definitely, a lot of people was not having that one. Like, but yes, we're gonna just keep it on moving down. Keep it on moving on up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we shed a little light on the lesbian, the gay community, the queer. You shed a little bit on the trans. We did the straight. Do you have any things for the plus size before we move on to the bigger topic?
Of course I do. No, I'm kidding. Not of course I do, but I just want to say as a non plus size person, like I am a small, like I'm a petite person. Our battle is just about the same, honey. Like just like some people can say really hurtful things that they don't think are really hurtful um to you all, like they say the same things to me. There's like if I had $1 for every time somebody told me I need to eat more, uh I would be rich, like at this point. It's very insensitive, really hurtful. Like I grew up with my grandmother. Mind you, I am trans, so I grew up male um in my teen years. Like her trying to force feed me all the time. Like you need to eat. Like you're not hungry. Like it was very hard. Like I've been trying to gain weight since I was small, like
I
young.
know I don't know what it is with the black community with this. Oh, you too skinny. Like, come on. First of all, I'm healthy. I like eating a lot. My favorite food is salad. Okay, favorite food is salad. So if y'all want to get me something special, a salad with everything besides some onions and some cheese and some bread on that thing, because I stay away from bread like that. And that's the reason why I kind of stay skinny. You know what I'm saying? I love stuff like that. I love hot wings. You know what I'm saying? Hot wings really don't fatten you up like that. So my people always used to always say, "Oh, well, eat this, eat that. Well, make sure you got to try this cornbread. You know, black people and that cornbread. You got to try this cornbread. You got to do this. You got to do that. Like, come on. I'm really not trying to eat all this fattening food. I'm not. I love soul food, but I love it in portions. Okay. My mom is the only person whose food I would probably tear the fuck up. But other than that, everybody else, like, I'm going to I'm eating in portions. Please give me time to eat this because my body is not used to eating all this fattening food or, salted food like that. I usually, season my food to the point where it tastes good, not salty. So just in that saying. But I used to be fluctuating in weight. When I was younger, I was fat. People don't realize that. When I was younger, I was fat and I was picked on. I was picked on a lot. I was picked on calling me fluffy, calling me fat, bloated, and stuff like that. And I mean, I definitely had hit that in the past, but yeah, that's something I fought for. I had to make sure I was not eating so much food and stuff like that to the point where my body kind of got used to it. Because I really eat like once a day. Because I'm usually up doing something and stuff like that, active. I'm really not thinking about food as much because food is not on my mind all the time. But I love to eat when I do eat. I will definitely do a buffet and all stuff like that. And I'm not plus size. You know what I'm saying? So eating does not make a person plus size. So we're gonna get off of plus size for a moment, and let's talk about bisexual people, because as people know, I am asexual, but I used to be bisexual. And I feel like the real fight with being bisexual is the fact that a lot of people are scared to even come out and even say, hey, I'm bisexual. We don't have any clubs. We don't have any rights. We don't have a rights to bisexual marriage. We don't have rights to be basically bisexual. And a lot of people argue with us a lot that will cause a big controversy is like, oh, you're not bisexual, you're gay, or you're not bisexual, you're a lesbian, or you can't be bisexual because you're trans. You can't be bisexual because you consider yourself queer. But technically, bisexual people are in all this shit. Hell, bisexual people are in the straight community because they don't even want to even be shunned from the straight people. Like the straight people are so fucking holy than thou or something. You know what I'm saying? So it really bothers me to do that. And honestly, y'all, I know Faye probably like, damn, I'm going in for a rampage, but it's something that's always been on me. Like I was just sitting there speaking with her, and I was like, you know what? We don't have a club. Like even the trans community, we don't have our own clubs, and we have to share with everybody else. Like we have to share with the straight people. We have to share with the gays. We have to share with the lesbians. You know what I'm saying? And really, lesbians don't even like the bisexuals in their club. If you want to be honest, they don't. Lesbians, I feel like they have a thing against bisexual people because of the fact that, you know, the women that hide in their community as bisexual kind of give a bad taste to them. Same thing with straight people. You know, they hide in there, so the women have a big issue because the women have issues with bisexual people, majority. But the craziest thing is the bisexual women are the most loved out of the bisexuals, which is crazy because a lot of straight women will mess with their girlfriends and their homegirls and all the stuff like that and go back to their boyfriend and act like nothing's okay. But then they get mad if they found out that that nigga was fucking his homie. Don't make sense. Don't make sense. I just feel like if we had a club where I can walk into, and I know that everybody in here is 100% bisexual, they're okay with bisexualness, then it'll be more able for me to go find somebody to kick it with and find somebody where I don't have to be running around in these streets trying to sneak around and hide. Maybe a lot of these people would not be DL anymore. Maybe they wouldn't be worrying about trying to find these women who consider themselves straight because they're gonna go to the gay club and find them a bitch who knows that they're bisexual and is okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the club is for. That's why people go to the gay club, because it's something that they know that when they go there, they're comfortable with being who they are, and if they meet somebody there, they already know what the tea is. They already know what it is. They know what to expect. And the same thing if you had a trans club, like people who like trans who like trans, anything in that made in that category will go to that club, and they can be as free as they want. I mean, they do have the balls, but the balls really don't capture. It's really for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that, you know, it just singled it out for y'all. But if y'all had a club that y'all go to, I know Faye, I know your ass would be all up in that thing, fly as fuck, like hell yeah. Cause you know that if you walk up to somebody, you ain't gotta say nothing. They already understand what you got going on. And y'all can just vibe. Y'all can just enjoy yourself. Nobody's judging you because you're a guy just walked in the club. You know what I'm saying? They already know what it is. Like I ain't gotta be like, hey, do you like? God, clearly you do, cause you in here. I'm sorry, y'all, for my rampaging, but and then if we speak on marriage, I'm gonna get on this too, y'all, because this is the reason why I made this topic. Is because of this. I'm not sure about the marriage, how it works with the trans community. Is there any way you can explain that before I get into my rampage about the bisexual?
I actually know nothing about it. I personally think that it may be recognized the same as same-sex marriage still.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at this time, so I haven't seen or I don't know any married trans women or men actually,
Okay.
but I don't know very much about that personally.
Okay. So if anybody has been married, please hit us up so we can get that info so we can give that out to the world and have an understanding. But I know one thing they don't have is multiple marriage, which is bisexual marriage. Like I cannot marry a woman and marry a man at the same time and they marry each other. That's
Mm-hmm.
impossible right now. People be looking like, and I had a conversation with somebody that said, but why would they do that? What? But
Why
you're
not?
sitting here fighting for yourself to be
Mm-hmm.
married to the same sex, but I'm not should be able to marry both sex. I'm sorry that I don't
Right.
want to just be subject to having only one partner of a different gender and be okay with it. And then I have to have the other person. And first of all, when you get married, it has nothing to do about sexual things. It has something to do with your rights.
You know about the love
Yeah,
in general. It's like an expression, a higher or one of the highest expressions of love you can show to one another. So I definitely feel like it would be unfair to the bisexual community to not allow them to be married. And I actually never thought about that until meeting you.
yeah,
Because I'm a monogamous type person, so
yeah,
that world is totally outside for me. Um, but I get it. You know,
yeah,
if you have the capacity for that, I know me being monogamous, I don't have the capacity
yeah,
to share my love like that, and
yeah.
I don't want my love shared that way. Um, but if you do, like, I could definitely see where it would feel a lot like not being, respected.
Yeah, because my whole thing is, I always had dreams. Like, I know every time I think about a wedding and I see somebody walking down the aisle, I always picture it to be a female. But
Hmm.
when I got clarity to who I was, I had a dream and it gave me like the best sensation to see that I had a female walking down the aisle, but I also had another man standing next to me and we were about to get married.
I'm sorry, that is so beautiful.
Yeah.
It was going the exact same way that I planned in my, or not that I planned, but the way that I saw it happening in my head, that it would be two men at the end while this beautiful bride is coming down to marry both of you all, so
Yeah.
that you guys can marry each other.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I'm pretty sure a lot of bisexual people probably, if until they hear this, probably did not even think of that,
Mm-hmm.
of being even a possibility. And that's the whole point of this is to fight. And I'm gonna be a word for it because at the end of the day, if I do get married, that's how I want it to be. Because I almost got married to and got into a gay marriage, and I feel like I wouldn't have been happy. I wouldn't have been
Not
happy,
totally, I don't feel
not
like. Mm-hmm.
completely. You know what I'm saying? Not
Because
completely
you're
happy.
denying half of yourself.
Exactly. And I should not have to be. You know what I'm saying? I should definitely be able to do that. And like you said, it's beautiful just to see that and just to have that. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, let's take it off the love situation. That's three incomes. Okay? Cause trust me, I'm
Yeah.
not I'm not about to date a man and this nigga ain't working and date a female and she ain't working. No.
Mm-hmm.
And I want y'all to strive for the best like I'm striving for the best. We
I
all
might need to
work.
change my viewpoint on monogamy.
Like, come
Mm-hmm.
on. Like this is bread we're talking about. When
Wow.
taxes come, stuff like that, we have to claim each other. You not know
Mm-hmm.
what time of tax bracket we're gonna be in? You know how quicker it will be for us to
Ooh.
be a billionaire family?
And y'all will all be able to claim all of y'all's kids
Exactly.
together, collectively.
Yeah. And get all that.
Oh, and that limit probably would be different because there's a limit on how many children you can claim.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But granted, though, I mean, and then, but see, another thing though, in order for a trial relationship to even work, everybody has to be equal with each other. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has to realize that. And I feel like the less dominant part of the relationship, meaning the one who's singular, like if it's two females and a one man or two men and one woman, the singular person has to technically be the most focused on because you already have two. And with there being two, if they try to focus on each other more, then it kind of is like you're like outcasting a situation. So they both, like the two women would have to cater to that man, and the two men will have to cater to that woman in order for that marriage to probably go forth. You know what I'm saying, and be good about the situation. And I know I probably got a lot of women like, shit, you know what? The way he's explaining this, I might just goddamn be like, let's go.
Listen. Let me find me two good men.
Yeah.
Hey.
And then somebody had said something to me about, they was like, well, that's the same thing as like the Muslims where they can marry as many wives. I said, no, because the wives are not marrying each other. And that's what changes up the thing is because at the day, everybody has to marry everybody. It's not no such thing as, oh, I got a husband, I got a wife, but they're not married. Like, no.
Right.
We all got a husband and we all have a wife. Well, we all have a...
When you said that, that's why I didn't say that, because that was my first thought on bisexuals getting married. But I like that, though, because it's a commitment that all three of you are making to all three of you.
Yeah.
Like, it's binding legally.
Yeah, legally. And that's the thing. And then if I die, I can leave all of myself to what I produce with them. And then our children are able to have the same name. Because we're married. Our children will be able to have the same name. And technically, our children are going to still be related because we're having it with one woman. So our children are technically going to be brother and sister still. So you can't say anything sick is going on. You know what I'm saying? Or anything of that nature. So I feel like I'm ready. I'm ready to fight for it. I just need the people to back me up.
Let's start the march, friend. I'm marching with you. I'm an ally.
Okay, I mean, I'm ready for it. I just need the people to back me up. You know what I'm saying? And anybody wants to ever talk to me about any situation, we have Facebook where it's Talk TV, We the United. You can always go and you can like and subscribe. Please, Talk TV WT United on YouTube. You can definitely go on there, subscribe, please. Subscribe, and likes. It's free. Please do it. You can also hit me up on personal email with its tlk.tvchannel@gmail. So you definitely can message me there if you definitely are willing for the fight and you want to stand up for it, or if you want to be on this show or anything of that nature, because we definitely need people to fight for just having their voice heard. And I had a person hit me up, y'all, the other day, and it was so sad. I said I was going to wait to do this on my podcast, but they say, they're going to get you for this. And I was like, who? And he was like, it's just not right for us to be unified. And then they blocked me. See, what they didn't know is I'm a very strong man when it comes to shit like that. And when you try to tell me something I can't do, I'm going to show you I can do it. And then when I do it, I'm going to do it 10 times better than you thought you was going to stop me to do. So, yeah, I'll definitely support, because you have people who are not trying to let this happen. And we'll have people who are praying against this. And we're going to pray back. And we're going to show them that we are the united. Faye, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate this so much. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to get too heartfelt into this, but we have to stand up for who we are and what we fight for.
Really?
So I didn't get to ask you the
You missed that part going.
questions. I didn't get to ask you the questions. So I'm going to ask you the questions. So and we're going to end it off with that,
Okay.
with you being the last interview. So the first question that we had is, what rights do you fight for, and what does it mean to you?
Serious question that I need to put some thought into before I answer it. Um, because I want to word it right. Because if I say just the right to be me, like it's very vague. But
Mm-hmm.
um, I want the right to live, basically, as anybody else has the same right to live, and that means for me, I could walk down the street and not get a trash can thrown on me. I could retaliate towards someone, and then it not be taken completely out of context because of what I am. I want to be respected by my clients when I'm at work. Like it be actually recognized as seriously as the color of my skin is recognized um, by state, as far as like slurs that are allowed to be used, because calling me a man is at this point a slur. And I want respect, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, question number 2. What is the 6 biggest issues you face that could transpire in a fight for who you are?
6 big issues. Mm, could you elaborate on that? Just
Okay,
so
so
I
I
can answer
mean,
it
when I
properly.
say transpire in a fight for who you are, meaning like something
Mm-hmm.
you might even get to the fist fighting for, something that you might go to a march, something that transpires into a real physical, like a certain fight that you would actually have to push into something that will, what is
Mm-hmm.
something that will make you march, make you swing, make you,
Make me move. Oh, okay.
you
There was this one time at band camp. Kidding.
know.
But like touching me period is like a big no. The last fight that I had been in, and mind you, I am not one of those I get in a fight every week kind of girls. Like literally hadn't been in a fight since the ninth grade before this happened. Someone snatched my wig off in the club, and I lost myself. I usually have a lot of candor about myself. I can usually turn the other cheek. Somebody blatantly disrespecting me, when I feel disrespected, like I get outside of myself. Something that would make me march is definitely something like what happened at work not too long ago when a client called me a man, and told my manager not to call me Miss Faye. Um, that definitely empowered me to continue to do these podcasts so that
Yeah.
my voice is heard. Um, there was a recent law, like things like that, what I'm about to say really pissed me off when the government gets involved in my life in a negative way. Because right now, Capitol Hill is really trying to come down on the trans community and eradicate all of us. And there was a bill that passed through the educational system, and then there was a small piece of it that had to do with the trans community, that made me want to go and immediately start getting work done to get my name legalized, on all of my documents, my birth certificate, my license, my social security card, so that they can't take anything away from me, so that I can then start the process to get um, my gender changed on my birth certificate, because there's a lot of jump. I mean, hoops you have to jump through that. What is that, 3? I have to do 3 more. Uh,
If you can't do 3 more, it's fine.
Oh, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. Those are like the biggest things, I guess, for me that would make me move something, um, or fight for a move or something. They all go under the umbrella of respect.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, well, I know you shed a little bit of light on the government, which is the next question. You versus government. Shed your light on your perspective.
They don't want these hands. To be perfectly honest, like at one point in time during our previous president's reign or term during his time in office, my grandmother told me it was my fault that Trump was in office. And what she said, or what she meant by it, because I asked her, she was just like, when I was younger, I used to blurt out all the time that I wanted to be president. Mind you, at the same time, when I was saying I wanted to be president, I also wanted to be a firefighter, a police person. Um, I wanted to be a preacher at the time as well. And they all had their reasons for it. But she really took it to heart when I said I wanted to be president. And I sat down after she told me about this, and this is not too long ago. And seriously, it would be something that I would like go for, because there isn't a voice for us, in the government. And when I say for us, I mean the whole alphabet community. Someone that cares about everyone's.
Yeah, and that's not actually hiding themselves to
Right,
be in the government.
exactly.
Yeah,
Right. That was literally something that I was going to pursue. I was gonna go find a city or a town to become mayor of and like move up, slowly, to do that. But the reason why I didn't do it is because of all of it. There's a lot of slander for trans people right now, and that is a huge mantle to take up. And I don't want that. Like when you think about leaders that did like social change or were working towards it. Like when you think about like civil rights, um, they all were murdered, in some kind of way. Even the white people who were moving for us, like they also were murdered. It wasn't just like the black people that were getting murdered. Like it was just a bad time for everybody. I don't want that. Just to get my voice out there. There are other things that I could do, like it can further educate me on what or myself on what's going on in the government, and sign petitions, or get on a campaign for things like that. But as far as my thoughts for capital G, the government, the system is screwed. It has been screwed for a long time. It all needs to be revised. Like they need to just go through the Constitution, and not real quick. Just go through it bit by bit, like seriously analyze everything that's in there and update it. That was written
years and years ago. Yeah, I said the same thing about the
years
Bible, but we're
ago.
not going to go there because those two things
It's
that we're
already
not
been
supposed.
revised multiple times. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So I mean, we're not gonna go that deep on the door, but okay. Thank you for your perspective on that. If you do decide that you want to go for anything, I'm definitely going to back you, and I'm pretty sure our team, we the United, will support you. Definitely. Okay, question 4: the ones we lost to the fight. So, have you lost anybody to this fight of yours?
No.
Okay, all right.
No.
So we are going to give 10 seconds to the ones that did become lost from this fight, because people, of course, have died for our country, for our race, for our living, for us to even be here today. So we're going to give us 10 seconds to give them some respect. All right, all right, all right. So, last question, and then we can end this podcast. Thank you for lasting this long with me. This was a whole journey, okay? All right. Whew. Okay. Our truth on if we still see victory and steps towards it.
Do we still see victory and steps towards it?
I'm sorry. Will we see victory and steps towards it?
Yeah, as long as we don't die down, like the reason why there's a lot of stuff going on right now is because we've gotten louder. I'm not ever going to say that we ever got quiet, but we've gotten much louder than what we were in the past. Like, I mean, thinking from where we started back, in the '60s, moving into the '70s of Stonewall, like we've come great, leaps and bounds,
Mm-hmm.
because of our voices and being loud. And I feel like right now we're getting a lot louder. And there are lots of trans women who are taking a stand to speak. There are lots of gay people out, taking a stand to speak. Lesbians as well. And you yourself, as asexual bi, you're also taking a stand, speaking out. So we're getting a lot
Yeah.
louder.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I need my bisexual people to just get a little bit more louder. But yeah, we here though. I got y'all though. I got y'all. I got y'all. Okay. And the asexual people, I don't forget about y'all at all. Please don't think so, because I represent y'all every time I'm on this podcast. I'm not sure if what I believe, or the reason why I call myself asexual, is the same as what's going on, because I haven't really had too many encounters with the asexual. But I don't take away from what you are. I feel like it's different levels to every community, and everything we have is different
Mm-hmm.
ways to look at it. It's not one way to skin a cat. So at the end of the day, we all have our different clippers. We all have our different hairs, different types of cats that we're gonna shed. So it's a lot of different variations in between stuff. I don't forget about y'all. I love y'all too. I appreciate y'all, and I'm standing here for y'all as today. Um, I don't think anybody wants to marry themselves, but if that was a thing, I think that would be something. You know what I'm saying?
I
To be
thought
able
about
to
it
marry yourself. You know what I'm saying? I
all
mean,
the time.
I don't, I mean, honestly, me personally, no, I don't. But I love myself, though. I love looking at myself. And I do feel like we should have privacy, where we could be who we are by ourselves. I mean, an asexual club would be kind of cool, because
Mm-hmm.
it would be a club, and then I see it like having little rooms with mirrors and stuff where you can just and have like things you can touch yourself with, and all that good stuff, and and not sexually all the time, but like
Yeah.
things that like vibrate, and things that like gotta give you a little zip, a little zazz, and
Oh God.
like a feather or something like that. Stuff that we can like
Mm-hmm.
be intimate with ourselves with, or just have like a room full of a mirror, and you can
Mm-hmm.
have somebody come and they can bring you a drink, and you can just be by yourself and just look at yourself and enjoy you looking good and just being great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I think a lot of people will go to that club, honestly, just to
I
get
was just
away.
thinking, like, it sounds like a great club, especially since it's asexual and it's not like I'm gonna get groped on the entire time that I'm here because nobody wants to
Okay.
grope on me. This is
Right.
I'm
Everybody
just
wants to just
here.
touch
I'm a
their
look.
grope on themselves for real. Okay.
I'm
Well, I mean,
totally fine
honestly
with
though,
that.
I don't think that would be the case though, because I know me personally, I don't know if it's every asexual, but I'm pretty sure a lot of them is. We get turned on when we see people touch us, and like if they touch us and they touch us in a certain way, and it like makes my like stands out my body, I kind of get turned on by that. Like I like that it made me, made my arm look a little buff. I'm like, ooh, right, you just squeezed me like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my, like I want to bite myself. I can't, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in the mirror trying
Right.
to reenact that because you did that, and I saw it in the mirror. So mirrors being in the asexual club is definitely a plus. We need to see us all around, all the time. Yes,
Right.
definitely. That would be a nice ass club though. A club full of mirrors, like everything's mirrored.
Yeah.
Y'all, if y'all trying to
Definitely.
get these clubs done, please hit me up on my email, and we can get this done. Faye, she can do all the sewing for us. She gonna do it right and get it exactly how we want it to be. So y'all definitely hit us up. Let us know. I thank you so much for doing this, y'all. This has been a wonderful time. This is my first time having a co-host, and I feel like she did wonderful. I hope y'all feel the same way. I hope y'all definitely listen to this whole thing because we definitely were talking, and we talked about a lot of stuff, and we tried to shed light on all of these communities. These communities, I wish y'all just come on and don't be so scared. I mean, I definitely have not been doing like a big wide search because honestly, I really just got comfortable with just actually just being, letting people know, hey, this podcast is here because like I said, just as much as I've been getting great things about this podcast, I've also been getting some type of negativity behind it. So y'all have to remember that I'm also fighting for this as well.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all courage and participation is really high to us to get this where it needs to be. You have any
Okay.
last words?
Yeah. As per usual, I always want to thank you for the opportunity to speak on your platform.
Thank
Um,
you.
I am really long-winded, and nobody wants to hear me speak this long. So I thank you for that. It is a great honor. I hate sounding so over the top when I speak sometimes,
It's fine. It's
like
fine.
right now. But yeah, I'm grateful to be here. Thank you all for listening to me. If you cared to listen enough, uh, yeah, that's it. That's all.
Okay. All right. Well, once again, definitely check us out. I have a late night show that is awesome. It's uncensored, and we talk about a whole bunch of stuff. And it comes on every Tuesday and every Saturday, and it's called Let's Talk. So if you go to Twitch, Twitter now, actually, I'm on live on Twitter. Twitter is, oh, y'all gotta give me a second. I'm gonna have to pull this stuff up because it's a lot to remember. Twitter is twitter.com/TLKTVWT United. Usually that's going to be basically what it is for a lot of stuff. If you want to hear my actual audio podcasts, you can go to a lot of the podcast streams that we that stream podcasts and look up We the United, or you can look up the TLK TV channel podcast, and that'll definitely pull up. You'll see them audio. They drop 6 o'clock in the morning on Fridays. We also do a sit down, which is on video, and that is usually something interesting. We have another conversation to show people that we can talk amongst each other. We don't always have to have one on ones. We can do this one on ones, and we can come amongst each other and talk with each other. And then we do a sip and talk later on that night to show people that we don't always have to just have serious conversations. We can just laugh and have fun and drink.
They're really great.
Yeah. Yeah, and we definitely have fun, and because we're grown, and this is grown folks. This is all grown folk. Okay. I am also coming out with some more shows. I'm definitely going to leave that to the ear for when it happens. But yeah. So be definitely looking for multiple stuff coming soon. I'm gonna tell you a hint of a little something that has to do with music. So if you are a musician, definitely be looking out for the email to hit me up and send your music in. Talk about things to do interviews and all that good stuff. I'm also going to be doing something with magic, you guys. Yes, yes, yes. Because a lot of people don't know that I dibble and I dabble, and I'm very good at it. And I've been doing it for a long time. I call myself a spirit guider because I definitely guide people to their destination where they need to be. Hinting all these people on my podcast who've been doing such great and getting great things back from it. So yeah, I'm not gonna talk too much. But I think we have covered up everything we needed to cover. You want to let everybody know where they can follow you?
Sure. Ooh, and we are in a place where I can look at stuff too, so that is great. You can find me on Instagram at faye.rose, and that's PHAE.rose. You can also find me on a couple other, because I stream as well. Um, on let's see, I guess we can say Meet Me. Just type in Faye Rose, you'll see my picture.
Mhm.
And it's the same on most stream sites. I do believe Bigo Live also has the same name. So, yeah.
I know. I just found out about that stream shit. I didn't know that I was speaking in old school terms when I was saying podcasts and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, a streamer. I'm a streamer. My little cousin, she was
Yeah.
like, "You're a streamer." I said, "What is that?" She's like, "What you're doing? A podcast?" Like, she's like, "We don't call it podcast anymore. We call it streaming." I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, my bad. That was not even a long
Mm-hmm.
time since podcast came out, and now y'all already changing it. My bad. I didn't get the
Right.
memo. Like,
Listen,
you would make it seem
listen.
like podcast has been out when I was born. Like, this is
Because I didn't
new.
know. I didn't know that podcasters were also streamers.
Yeah.
But when I think about it, most podcasts have a video component
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
to it as well, so that makes sense.
So that's she was like, "You're a streamer." You're like, "Oh," I said, "Oh wow, well, thank you for me being a streamer." So I'm a streamer, you guys. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, I'm hip with the Gen Zs. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and I call them Gen X. Oh Jesus.
Not Gen X. Oh my God, y'all talking about the ABCs? Y'all in there too? Hell, y'all the last ones. Y'all the last ones of the ABCs.
Okay, and they listen.
And they the
The
reason why we
GZs are
got all these
everything.
ABCs.
Truly,
Shoot.
y'all did the extra ones. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where those came from.
Yeah, it's definitely the Gen Zs. The Gen Z said, y'all fought for something. Now we're gonna show y'all how to elevate it. Oh my gosh, I
I
can't even keep
appreciate them
up
for that
sometimes.
sometimes.
I can't even keep up sometimes. It's okay. It's okay, y'all. We love y'all though. We definitely love y'all.
Bye.
Yeah, so we definitely raise our hands, we grab each other, and we are the United. And I'm signing off. Y'all have a great one.